Yesterday's discourse on the lesser scope path has been completed. The middle scope path has also been finished. Today we shall discuss the greater scope path. The path of the greater scope cultivates the union of emptiness and great compassion, liberating from the extremes of existence and peace. This has three aspects. First, generating the supreme bodhicitta. Second, cultivating the two aspects of bodhicitta through practice. Third, training in the disciplines of bodhicitta. First, let me quote the original text, which states the following. Since beginningless time, all beings have been my mothers. If they suffer, how can I be happy? Therefore, to liberate countless beings, develop bodhicitta is the bodhisattva's practice. Since beginningless time, they have shown me boundless kindness, cherishing and valuing me even more than their own precious lives. With great compassion, they have carefully nurtured me. All these mother sentient beings of the six realms who have been so kind to me are now endlessly tormented by the sufferings of samsara, especially by the intense pains of the lower realm. If I remain indifferent to this and give it no consideration, seeking happiness in the fortunate realms for myself, or even pursuing my own liberation from birth and death, such as the liberation of Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, what real meaning would that have? The author provides a rather extensive explanation for this verse. In the commentary on the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva, each verse is first explained literally, then supported with scriptural citations using the Vajra words of many great masters as evidence. This truly makes one feel deeply ashamed and is something the great masters have reproached. If we don't strive to bring happiness to our mother sentient beings, but instead seek peace and happiness only for ourselves, this is truly something to be deeply ashamed of, and is precisely what the great masters have criticized. One will certainly fall into the wrong Mahayana path and not attain liberation. The wrong Mahayana path is selfishly seeking one's own liberation. Therefore, we should contemplate in our hearts to rescue all sentient beings, boundless as space, to liberate them and attain Buddhahood as the Bodhisattvas generated their aspiration. I too will generate this supreme bodhicitta. First, one must have compassion. This is the behavior of all bodhisattvas who aspire for great enlightenment. It is the meaningful act of generating the mind and aspiration for great enlightenment. As stated in the Abhisamayalankara, generating the mind for the benefit of others, seeking perfect enlightenment, this verse is important. This is exactly how we should generate our intention for the benefit of others, aspiring to attain perfect enlightenment. This is the very essence of the Mahayana aspiration. When we generate this intention, we give rise to great compassion for sentient beings and wisdom directed toward Buddhahood. This is extremely important. Regarding the classification of bodhicitta, according to the way of the bodhisattva, bodhicitta is known to have two types, aspirational bodhicitta and applied bodhicitta. This is the classification of bodhicitta, aspirational bodhicitta and applied bodhicitta. The difference between these two is also explained in the way of the bodhisattva. Just as one knows the difference between wanting to go and actually going, the wise understand the sequential distinction between these two minds. This is a difference between aspirational and applied bodhicitta. The gateway to exoteric and esoteric Mahayana paths is actually bodhicitta. If you wish to enter the Mahayana, whether exoteric or esoteric, bodhicitta is essential. Whether you have entered the ranks of the Mahayana depends entirely on whether you possess bodhicitta. This cannot be determined merely by words. Look within your own mind to see whether you are truly a Mahayana practitioner. It depends entirely on whether you have bodhicitta in your mind stream. As stated in the way of the bodhisattva, beings bound in samsara's prison of suffering, if they give rise to bodhicitta, they instantly become known as children of the Buddhas, worthy of veneration by gods and humans. They are reborn into the Buddha family and become children of the Tathagata. This is familiar to all of us. If one is embraced by bodhicitta, then even offering a morsel of food to an animal becomes the conduct of a bodhisattva. And if embraced by bodhicitta, even if we give just a dime to a beggar. This also becomes the conduct of a bodhisattva. Even if I myself, while generating the proper motivation, do work for the sangha, for instance, sweeping floors or cleaning toilets, perhaps as a form of service, as long as I do these things with the right intention. Like we are reminded to generate bodhicitta every day before class. But when we give these reminders, including myself, how many can truly generate bodhicitta? We really don't know. Actually, every day when generating bodhicitta for all beings, we visualize in our hearts. It takes only a few seconds. I studied this treatise today for the benefit of all sentient beings to make them attain Buddhahood. If we think this way, the merit generated is truly immense. If we don't practice this way, then the merit generated is quite ordinary. Otherwise, even if you offer treasures filling the 3,000 worlds, it would merely be considered an act of generosity and could not truly be called bodhisattva conduct. From this, we can understand the other paramitas, such as ethics. We just discussed generosity. So for ethics, patience, diligence, concentration, wisdom, and so forth, the principle is the same. As long as they are embraced by bodhicitta, this is extremely significant. The above explains bodhicitta and the merits and faults of whether actions are embraced by bodhicitta from this perspective. Furthermore, the Avatamsaka Sutra and the way of the Bodhisattva proclaim the benefits and merits of bodhicitta. The Srimangala Pariprika Sutra also states, if the merit of bodhicitta were to take physical form, it would fill all of space and even surpass space itself. This also summarizes the merits and benefits of bodhicitta. The essence of the Mahayana path that leads to the two enlightened bodies is the complete union of the compassionate bodhicitta of skillful means and the wisdom realizing emptiness, which is primarily wisdom. Skillful means and wisdom must be practiced in union. The Madhyamakaratna states, adorned with the loving kindness, compassion, and great wisdom, bodhicitta is the seed of Buddhahood. May the wise never abandon it. These are the methods for bodhisattvas to cultivate the mind. Okay, let's stop here for today. May the wise never abandon it. We'll stop here.
Sonam dei tamse rupanya tonne de jana pase jirgana jirano chupan chupun zonen droa droa jo
bandangara badna asadarda bandangara badna asadarda bandangara badna asadarda